Look, I'm not proud of this, but it works, okay? Hey there hunters, welcome back to the Gunners Guild. Today I'm going to be taking the short bus in Monster Hunter Sunbreak and once again donning on the meme of the Shield Heavy Bowgun. It was a thing in Iceborne because the shield mods were absolutely broken back then, but that's not really the case anymore. Even in Sunbreak where blocking was buffed, it's still not an instant win button like it was back in Iceborne. That being said, it does function, and it's a pretty chill way to hunt if you just want to grind some materials without having to big brain it. So before we dive into it, I do want to reiterate that this is not meta by any means. Anyone who makes immortal build videos and clickbait never die stuff is on the short bus with me today, so let's just dive into this. If you're looking for a way to deal with monsters but don't want to have to learn their moveset or worry too much about dying, this is going to be the build for you. However, it's not immortal, especially on some of the stronger monsters like Elder Dragons. Monsters hurt a lot in Sunbreak, especially to gunners, and you can't really hide behind a shield forever. Plus, the damage is significantly less than a light bowgun, so if you actually learn to maneuver properly, definitely go with the light bowgun route, not this. But for practicing and learning, it's a pretty good spot to start. The setup is pretty simple to put together. You need the shield mod on a heavy bowgun. I went with Grand Golems because it's got a lot of slots and it makes it set pretty easy to put together. But Magnum Malo and Tetranodon heavy bowguns work really well. I'm sticking with spread ammo because for the most part monsters are going to be up in your face the whole time, so it's the best option. Well, it's the only option really. The rest of the armor set is pretty cookie cutter skills: guard up, guard boost, spread up, weakness exploit, crit boost, and then usual DPS stuff. Attack boost isn't really necessary here since we aren't a big DPS build anyway, but if you have a min-max charm you can use it. Otherwise, just like I have a Wex 2 charm here with a 3 and a 1 slot, you can make the same build minus some attack. You lose like 15 raw, it's no big deal, it's not a build destroyer, you don't need super god tier charms. Unfortunately though, you won't be able to make this set until you're near the end of the story anyway, since you're going to need Malzeno armor pieces to make this work, as it's really the only form of leech we have in this game, and the way we can sustain ourselves with the chip damage we still take, this is pretty much it. That being said though, I'll bet a good healer cat will work just as well, maybe 2 if you can. I've also slapped on Camellia's Soul as the rampage skill here because it does give me a chance to heal on hit, increase defense and attack and stuff like that. It does come in handy. One point of dereliction is also on this set that you can't really see, and you may be thinking that it's counterproductive to have a life drain effect on you with this tank build, and yeah, sorta, but we also can kind of heal through it with our Malzeno skills, and it does give us quick access to a heal by scroll swapping if we need to, so I do kind of like it. Otherwise though, the set is pretty simple. As you can see, there's not too much else going on. When you prepare for a quest though, don't forget to eat for level 4 recovery, as it provides a passive HP effect, which is nice to counteract the dereliction life leech anyway. Moving on to the gameplay stuff, it's super easy guys, come on. You sit behind a shield, you push your fire button. Do remember though that the Shield Heavy Bowgun is not perfect. Not only is it not active right away, you need to stop shooting and wait about a half a second before you can block anything, so stop firing early. But also it only has like a 45-degree cone in which you can block, so you're not going to be able to block stuff to your sides or behind you, so make sure you're pointing in the right direction. Also, don't forget that you do still have shoulder check. Use that for roars and some light attacks so you can keep shooting and you don't have to block everything. We aren't using any of the new switch skills or the silk mines as they're pretty awful for a heavy bowgun. Use glide to reposition and shoulder check roars and you'll be fine. So while this build is absurdly tanky for things like Rathalos here and some of the lower tier monsters, Teostra's explosions and such still chip for fat chunks of HP, so you will need to be careful. Shoulder check when you can, glide away from attacks you don't have to block, and make sure you use the shield when you're unsure if you can evade an attack on your own. Treat it like a safety net rather than something you have to use all the time. The goal is not dying, which is not the same as just standing there. Anyway, I just want to let you all know that yes, Shield Heavy Bowguns are back, they can be a thing, they work. I don't particularly recommend it, but if it's your jam, go for it. I believe the redirection builds for Heavy Bowgun are going to be more optimal and playable, but that skill is also kind of janky. I'm going to have to be working and practicing on that later. But that's all for me though. Thank you all for watching. Good luck out there hunters. Hope you get through all your master ring grind. Peace.